Hello and welcome. You are about to learn a game, very old, yet always new. Many people think chess is hard. They see the board and feel confused. But here's a secret. Chess isn't as difficult as it looks. You can learn the basics very quickly. We can learn everything you need to play your first game right now. This guide will show you how to start, what each piece does, and even how to win. We'll take it one step at a time, together. My goal is simple and exciting. Finish this guide and feel ready to play a full game. Plus, learn a simple way to win. You won't be a grandmaster today, and that's okay. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Your first step, learn how pieces move across the 64 squares. We'll make this step easy and fun. Find a comfortable chair, relax. Let's begin your chess adventure. You are capable of more than you think. Let's start the clock and begin your first lesson. First, let's look at the chessboard. The board is your battlefield. It has 64 squares in total. These squares are arranged in an 8x8 grid. You will see that the squares alternate in color. There are light squares and dark squares. When you set up the board to play, it is very important to place it correctly. There is a simple rule to remember for this. Always make sure that each player has a light-colored square in their bottom right corner. Just remember this simple phrase, light on the right. This ensures the pieces are on the correct starting squares every time you play. Now let's talk about the two armies. In chess, one player uses the white pieces and the other player uses the black pieces. Each player starts with 16 pieces. These pieces are identical for both sides, just different in color. The game always begins with the player who has the white pieces. White makes the first move, then black makes a move, and you take turns like this for the entire game. Setting up the board is your very first task. It is a good habit to learn how to do it perfectly from the start, so you can begin every game with confidence and focus. Let's place your soldiers on the board. We will start with the front line. This line is made up of your pawns. You have 8 pawns in total. Place all 8 of your pawns on the second rank if you are white, or the 7th rank if you are black. These pawns form a wall and help control the center. In each corner, you place a rook. The rooks look like castle towers. Next to each rook, you place a knight. The knights look like horses. Next to the knights, you place the bishops. Finally, 2 middle squares remain for queen and king. The queen always goes on the square that matches her color. The white queen on a light square, the black queen on a dark square, and the king takes the last square next to the queen. Okay, good. Now that the board is set up, it is time to meet the members of your army. Each piece has a unique name and a unique way of moving. The queen is the most powerful and moves any number of empty squares in any straight direction. Think of her as a rook plus a bishop. Protect her carefully. The rook moves straight along ranks and files, as many empty squares as it wants, and is especially powerful in open positions. 2 rooks work brilliantly together to control large areas. Bishops move diagonally, any number of squares. One stays on light squares, the other on dark squares. They snipe along long diagonals. The knight moves in an L shape, 2 in one direction, then 1 at a right angle. Knights can jump over pieces, making surprise attacks in tight positions. Understanding these movements is the most important part of learning chess. You are the general of your own army. Decide where to attack and where to defend. You'll learn to think ahead, see patterns, and make good plans. We'll start with the basics to build a strong foundation. Now it is time to learn about the most numerous but also the most complex piece, the pawn. On its very first move, a pawn may move 1 or 2 squares forward. After its first move, it moves 1 square at a time and cannot move backward. If blocked directly ahead, it must wait. Pawns move straight but capture diagonally, 1 square ahead to either side. This capture rule is fundamental to chess strategy. Now, the most important piece, the king. The king is slow, moving one square in any direction. Like the queen, but only one step. The whole game revolves around his safety. Protect your king at all costs. If your opponent attacks your king, you are in check, and you must get out of check immediately. The goal is to trap the enemy king. Checkmate. In check with no legal escape. When checkmate happens, the game is over, and the deliverer wins. Piece count doesn't matter. If your king is checkmated, you lose. If you checkmate, you win. This is the ultimate goal in every game. All right, you're set. Section 5. Special Moves. The secrets of pawns and kings. Pawn promotion. Reach the final rank, and your pawn becomes a new piece. You must choose a queen, rook, bishop, or knight. Not a king, not a pawn. Most choose a queen. You can even have 2 or more queens. Castling moves your king to safety and activates your rook. The beginning is called the opening. What you do first matters. Skip memorizing long lines. Focus on 3 simple principles. First, control the center. Pieces in the center control more and reach both flanks. A great first move. King's pawn, 2 squares. Second, develop your pieces. Knights often before bishops. After a center pawn, develop a knight to help control the center. Move a different piece each turn. Don't bounce the same piece around without reason. Third, protect your king. Castle early, usually within 10 moves. It tucks your king safely and connects your rooks. Example, white plays e4. Black mirrors with e5. White develops a knight to f3. Black develops as well. White brings the bishop to an active square. Black develops the other knight. Now white is ready to castle. After castling, the king is safer and the rook is active. Each move had a purpose: center control, development, king safety. This simple, solid strategy is what you should follow. We'll also learn a fast checkmate pattern called the scholar's mate. It can catch beginners and teaches you how to attack and defend. The plan targets a weak square in front of the king's bishop, f7 for black. Use your queen and bishop together to pressure that square. Let's walk through it. First, move your king's pawn 2 squares. Suppose black does the same. Second, develop your bishop toward f7. Third, bring out your queen, for example to h5, also eyeing f7. Now, both queen and bishop attack the same weak spot. If black ignores the threat, you capture on f7 with your queen. This is checkmate. The king is attacked, cannot move, and cannot take your queen because she is defended. Game over in 4 moves. But bringing your queen out early is risky if the opponent defends. They gain time by attacking your queen while developing. Best defense: develop a knight to block the queen's path and protect f7. Or challenge the attacking pieces and complete your own development. Learn it to try it, and learn it to stop it. Every new chess player makes mistakes. This is normal. First, bringing your queen out too early. Second, not controlling the center. Third, neglecting king safety. Fourth, moving the same piece too many times. Finally, giving away pieces. Do a blunder check before every move. Congratulations! You now know the rules to play a full game. You know how to set up the board, how each piece moves, and the goal of checkmate. You learned a solid opening approach and a tricky checkmate pattern. Knowledge is first. Practice makes you better. The best way to improve is to play games with a friend, family, or online. Do not worry about winning or losing at first. Just play and get comfortable with the moves. Drill ideas. Practice scholar's mate, then flip sides and practice defending it. Practice basic checkmates like king and queen versus king to learn coordination. Use websites and apps to play, learn, and solve puzzles. Start with mate-in-one puzzles to train your tactical eye. Every chess master was once a beginner. Be patient with yourself. After each game, find one thing you could have done differently. Maybe a missed capture, or forgetting king safety. Improvement comes step by step. The most important thing is to have fun with the game. Enjoy the challenge of thinking, planning, and outwitting your opponent.